Hello Star Wars fans, and welcome to my Vintage Collection General Grievous review. Now I've got to tell you right off the bat, there's a lot of stuff to this guy. Some of it is really great, and some of it is really bad. Let's just take it one step at a time, and start with his articulation. So the basics, he has a ball-jointed head, a ball-jointed torso, and then for his legs, he has swivel legs, swivel knees, and ball-jointed feet. So that's very interesting. And then his arms, this is very different. He has ball-hinged shoulders, and then, let's see, hinged elbows, and swivel wrists. And of course, the arms can actually pop into two arms. So I don't know if you want to call those, two hinges, two swivels, or what. But there's definitely, added articulation numbers just because of those. However, although he has technically 20 points of articulation, you'll notice very few of them were ball-jointed. It was basically the feet, the torso, and the head. So he actually isn't all that posable, despite having many, many moving parts. Especially lacking the ball-jointed knee, that makes him really hard to do anything interesting with his legs, because when he's standing it's just fine, but if you have him crouching or anything like that, you see how his, the angle of his legs just kind of squish them together in an awkward way where they run into each other. Also, all of these wrists just want to pop right out of their swivel. It happens all the time. In fact, mine came in the box missing one of its wrists. It was just floating around in the box somewhere. Here's something neat. His neck part of the armor and the two side parts that wrap around him are actually removable with no repercussions. However, if you try to take the shoulder pad off, you may remove it no problem, and then you'll realize that that one was actually glued into its hole. So don't make the same mistake I have. I've been looking all over for the glue for the last couple minutes, but I can't find it. So I guess the rest of this review, he just won't have the shoulder pad anymore. Okay, but let's continue with the way that he looks. This is obviously the movie-accurate Grievous, not the cartoon one. And I gotta say, he really captures the essence of Grievous pretty well. You can see his sort of biological innards, as well as all the metallic-y parts of his thin arms. I really like that they attach the same way that they do in the movie, kind of clipped together, side by side. I really like the sculpt of his legs. He has a lot of kind of unattached parts that makes it look very cyborgy, very, built together, and kind of like the C-3PO before he had all the plating on him. And of course these feet just look really cool with their claws, and it's nice that they're ball-jointed. There's not a whole lot to the paint of this figure. He's pretty much just this dirty white and the silvery metallic. The only other colors is on the stuff underneath his chest plate, which is kind of a green color, I think, but green and brown is kind of my colorblind, so I can't be sure about that. And one more thing this guy has is this freaking awesome cape. It has this black and gray pattern on the back, which is showing up with more contrast than you see in real life. And I've been looking on the movie, and that's, accurate to the movie, the same pattern. And, it's red underneath, which is cool. It's just like what it is in the movie when he fights Obi-Wan on Utapau. And here's one really cool thing about the cape. On both sides, it has 4 little pockets for empty sabers. These are the 2 unlit sabers that he comes with, just kind of generic ones, but that's cool because then you can already have something to fill it with. And I'm sure you have some other unlit sabers, maybe from the Bespin Luke or the Legacy Collection Snowspeeder Luke or some other Jedis. You're bound to have a few of these unlit sabers around, and they look really nice, in Grievous's pockets. And while we're on these accessories, we might as well move on to the other ones because there's a lot of them. Grievous comes with 2 sabers, this green one and this blue one. They're both lit, and they're basically pretty generic, no painting of any consequence on the hilts, unlike those 2 unlit ones, which do have a little bit of paint. Then he also comes with this blaster. I think it's the one that Obi-Wan used to kill Grievous. Once again, it's basic. There's not much to it, but it's just one more thing, because there's a lot of accessories with this guy. I mean, well, overview, it was the 2 lit sabers, the 2 unlit saber hilts, and the blaster, not to mention the removable cape, and those removable chest pieces and the removable neck piece and the non-removable shoulder piece. Don't take this off. Learn from my mistakes. But here's one thing where the figure goes really south, is that these little hands are just totally inadequate. They only have 3 fingers on them, and they're kind of loose, and they just cannot hold sabers and guns very well at all. When you connect the arms, and you have, you know, kind of the double-sized hand, like this, it can hold a saber just fine. But it's a lot of fun to expand his arms and maybe recreate that scene where he's got literally 4 sabers in his hands, and he's twirling them all at Obi-Wan. You just can't do that maybe without rubber bands or something. I do have to stress that coming with 5 weapons and this awesome pocketed cape is pretty much enough to merit the buy for this Grievous. But I'm ultimately only going to give this guy a 3 out of 5. He's got some great stuff with all the accessories, all the movable parts, and the overall look, not to mention this freaking awesome cape. But he's, you know, got some major downfalls in that he can't hold anything, he can't really pose his legs very much, that he just kind of falls apart when you want to move these arms apart from each other. So, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.